So as promised, I wanted to show you guys my victory over this clown guy. 'Cause people are like, oh, that clown makes me sad. And yeah, he's a tough one. He is a tough, tough boss because it psychs you out like so many other of the Cuphead bosses. But I wanted to show you guys some not so good first because I do have to be objective, and I'm going to sing the praises of this game after this. And so I just want to tell you the one tiny thing wrong with it. And this is not an issue if you're playing on PC and your PC is decent. It's probably only an issue on the Xbox One. And this is why I tried these games on the Xbox One. That, and maybe we can't assume this with the Xbox One, but I assume more console players will play it, you know, because there's just usually a greater install base. What is that? That's the stuff of nightmares, man. Is that even a horse? Or like some kind of screwed up donkey rat? But getting to it, lag is an issue on the Xbox One. And in this case, it was really bad. So bad it got me killed. And before anybody asks, yes, this was after I wiped the cache. So here it is, the moment of sadness. I probably would have got this damn boss this try if it weren't for this. Because I already did the stupid roller coaster fake out, and I was just getting to the point, like I have my strategy, boom, invincibility, and where is it? There it is. Laggy, and I died. I don't even know what hit me. Probably that roller coaster cart guy, because it didn't respond. And that sucked! So that sucked and made me sad. So here's the good part. Here is my eventual victory over this evil clown while I talk to you about why this game, other than the performance of the Xbox One, is so freaking good. So play it on PC, because otherwise, this is about as close to a perfect action platformer as I think it is possible to get on the Mortal Coil. The both design and playtesting of this thing must have, no wonder it took them so long to finally get this game out, and kudos to, what is the company's name, MDHR, for taking the time and getting it right, because this is a thing of freaking beauty. And it is so precisely because it is so hard. I have not had the sense of satisfaction in a game defeating, you know, various bosses, even in Dark Souls games. Dark Souls games are hard, but there's so much grindy nonsense in Dark Souls. And I know, don't throw shade on Dark Souls, but it's grindy. And, okay, I guess it's sort of meditative, but the kind of grindy I like is the grindy that sort of you only have to, you know, half think about so you can fart around. Like the kind of grinding that happens in Far Cry, like, 'cause then I can, like, ride my bike or something. Cuphead, on the other hand, there is not an ounce of fat on this game. Not a one. Everything is so freaking precise. This part here, you think it's chaos. You think you can't follow it, but there is actually a lot of method to this madness. And this part I just thought was beautiful. You can't get to the enemies on the other side. And boom! A roller coaster cart comes and takes them out. And that sort of overkill and yet stillness was what I thought was so amazing about this game. Just so amazing. Not words, not words. The way the elements come together is astoundingly good. And the only way to really understand how nuanced it is to play it. The way it takes a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog, well, a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog, some Mario, but not as much as people think. It borrows from other platformers, because one of the things you have to get yourself trained out of is that tendency to jump on the head of every enemy you encounter. Yeah, you die that way. There he's happy. Ah, that'd be the clown. Yeah, no, I call him Schlongnose. I come up with the different names for Cuphead bosses. Most of them are rude. Let me show you another one. Let me show you the dragon guy, cause that's another fight that I thought was truly awesome, and it took me a while. Oh, this part I like. It shows you how many times you died. Oh, 481 at that count. I am way beyond that now. You die a lot in this game, and the fact that they had it keep count, yeah, you can just find out how much you die. Right, so here's the Grim Matchstick, the dragon, and this is an example of a fight where the right weapons matter so much. I was so stuck on this guy as the Xbox One is stuck on a load screen. So, one brief edit to cut down the load screen later, and here is Grim Matchstick, the dragon with the googly eyes. And this guy just gave me such a hard time because I was using the boomerang shooter that was my favorite weapon after it finally allowed me to vanquish Baroness von Bonbon, who has an evil candy corn minion, and, you know, anybody who understands that candy corn's evil is all right by me, so she doesn't get a made-up name. I don't think this guy, Grim Matchstick, came up with a weird name either. There was nothing really lewd I could come up with, so he just kept his name. But, oh no, he was Fire Hairball. That's right, right there. But everything's going swimmingly on this level until we get to the final part. But I'm going to show you this first, even though I sucked at it here. This is sort of essential for this part because it allows you to minimize your focus to the little fiery guys on the bottom. And that's really important because part of the strategy playing Cuphead is to be as still as possible and to direct your focus as possible. So use your weapons and power-ups so you don't have to worry about stuff. But this part, every freaking time, handed me my buttocks. So I changed weapons. So I went back to my trusty old pea shooter. You don't actually, there's my pea shooter. I edited out the swap because that's boring to watch. Even though the map is so cool in a Super Mario 3 kind of way. I really like that. You see, everything is mostly the same here. You just have to attack him forward instead of backward. Mind the tail. It's rather phallic. So this part becomes a little bit more difficult with the weapon switch, but I find you want that first part to be the hardest so you can get good at it and then save your precious 3 mistakes for later on in the fight. Because this part's like, my big problem here was it became so easy that I stopped paying attention. Like, once you figure this part out, it's easy peasy. Again, stillness is the key. You just don't go bananas like I did right there. And so you know where the little suckers are gonna jump if you're not moving when they lock on to you. Enemies like to lock on, and figuring out how they do that is very important. But now, this didn't cause me the problems because extra ammo wasn't flying everywhere and knocking those fire things all askew. And so once I figured out the right freaking weapons, this part actually wasn't terribly hard after hours and hours and hours of finding it impossible. You still have to pay attention to what you're doing, but it's not so bad with a little help from the invincibility power-up that you don't really need, but it's just so much peace of mind so you don't get twitchy. And see there, I'm like, no, last life, save me invincibility. And I turned out not to really need it, but it was a nice little peace of mind thing, and I managed to conquer Mr. Flamethrower here. Looks a bit like a bondage mask, doesn't it? There we go, ta-da! Victory. And that's how much of a difference a weapon swap can make. A change in tactics, a change in weapons, a change in power-up can make a night and day difference in these battles. And that's what makes it cool. But let me show you a couple other things while I sing the praises of this game. I'm gonna show you how I got so happy finishing Inkwell Island 2 that I ended up dancing with Dice Man. Now, I don't know why they put this screen in other than it's cool and he's terrifying, and I think it was probably hiding some sort of background loading. They made each aisle its own sort of contained thing and created this little bridging sequence. But I got excited and decided to dance with him. It turns out that Cuphead does a pretty mean disco. Here he goes. He's gonna do a little staying alive dance. There he goes. Staying alive, staying alive. That was a lot of fun. But Dice Man is evil. He is the henchman of the devil. And this is basically the bare bones little story, sort of the reason that Cuphead and Mugmen are fighting for their lives. And, you know, the fact that it's the devil I don't think is accidental. It's devilish difficulty. And it took me a while to figure out the whole mugs was, you know, you lousy mug kind of thing. It's a walking pun, which is kind of cool. But let me show you guys one more, maybe two more levels so you can see just the diabolically amazing game design in this game. Yes, we have bees. And for those of you going, Leanna, why are you playing on simple, on easy difficulty? Well, in other games, it would be like, oh, that's for noobs, but not Cuphead. Cuphead is, you have to play tactically once you get off the first aisle and recognize that you need to defeat a couple bosses to get to the run and guns to get coins, so the coins can get you to buy stuff to upgrade your weapons and, you know, abilities and stuff like that, and then go back and tackle these bosses on difficulty of time, space, and death, because, man, you think this is hard? It gets bananas. Yeah, that was a terrible pun. If you're wondering what I nicknamed Miss Honeybee here, I named her the Biatch Queen, which, you know, is both a bee pun and a Forgotten Realms pun, which makes me a super big nerd dodging a pink and purple Illuminati triangle. And this scared the crap out of me the first time it happened. I think I'm showing you guys, yeah, I'm showing you guys the defeat part because I want to blow through here. But do you see how radically different the gameplay is from level to level? Let me show you one more so you just get a sense. Again, it's on simple mode, but, you know, so it's not overwhelming. Edit out the load screen here, and here we go. Again, totally different tactics, totally different weapons that work. And that was a bad start, but here we go. Pirates are clearly a Popeye homage in places. There are Woody Woodpecker homages. The thing that's amazing about this game is it is, you know, the theme is retro. It's retro animation, it's retro game things, and people complain about the difficulty, but that's part of it. Back in my day, Sonny, games were hard, and we liked them that way. And the joy of this comes out of the difficulty. At first, you look at this and go, oh my god, how? You know, how is this possible? How do I do it? And then you learn, and you have to be prepared to die a lot. I wish the load screens were shorter so it was less punitive to jump out and change your weapon set and stuff. That's, again, it's just a performance thing on the Xbox, which, again, play on PC, it won't be that problem. But because you do have to experiment and you do have to learn, and you have to learn from your mistakes. No matter how overwhelming the stuff looks at first, there is actually a trick to every one. It is not strictly a Twitch gamer reflexes thing. Once you settle in, the pacing is actually quite decent. And that's what I like about this so much. That the balance is on the head of a pin. As I said on Twitter, it is just on the right side of being, this is ridiculously too hard. And I pity the reviewers that probably only had a week with this game, because that's not the way to play it. You have to settle in and not do it on a deadline and let it kick your ass and enjoy it. There's no other real way to do it. It's just settle in. It's going to own you. You are fighting the devil. You are in for a hell of a time. You know, it's cool that way. And I will do a more formal review once I am finished, but I don't know when that's going to be because I got to get back to work on Lady Bits. So I just wanted to give the game some love after I used it as background gameplay for other stuff so people who are only interested in the game can see. And this is fairly late game stuff, so, you know, you can get a good sense. Now, these two are on simple. It does go bananas at harder difficulties, but they're like 17-ish minutes of Cuphead gameplay for you to check out. If you think you want to tackle it, please do. And if you want hints on different boss fights, let me know, and I will try to help you as much as I can. Because like I said, there are tricks to it. It's not just being twitchy and having crazy hand-eye coordination. Cool? Cool. Okay, hope you enjoyed.